I have spent £34,000 on trying to discover the secret to building a property portfolio. I realized there is no secret, it's mostly a matter of. I started investing in property part-time in 2010, whilst I was working at Ernst Young. I started buying properties the traditional way, whereby I was slowly saving money, and once I had enough, I would buy a property. But this was slow and tied up a lot of money. In the last 3 years, I have supercharged my property portfolio using the B4R model, where I'm able to buy properties at a lot of value and then recycle as much money as possible to use for the deposit of the next property. This has allowed me to buy properties in a way which is much faster and requires a lot less money than the traditional way of investing in property. Since 2010, I have spent £34,000 on training courses and mentoring programs trying to discover the secret to building a property portfolio. I thought the key to discovering the secret was to gather as much information as possible, but instead of discovering the secret, I just became overwhelmed by the amount of information out there and even felt more confused. After spending £34,000, I realized there is no secret or magic formula. It's mostly a matter of having a clear strategy, having a step-by-step action plan, building a system to repeat this process consistently. The experience of my first few projects made me realize that I could do nearly everything online and part-time. For example, finding property deals online, find a broker online, find a solicitor online, find an estate agent online, find a letting agent online, find a builder and tradespeople online. Finding property deals. The secret to finding property deals? Rightmove. Back in the day, there used to be something called Property B, which allowed you to see every price change and description change on Rightmove. Today, there's a clever little Google Chrome extension that lets you see a list of historic price changes for properties listed on Rightmove's website. It's called Property Log. Let me show you how to install it. Type into Google, Rightmove Google Chrome extension. Click on Property Log, then click Add to Chrome. Now go to rightmove.co.uk. Enter the area you are interested in and prepare to be dazzled. I used this tool to find out when the property was first listed on Rightmove, initial entry found, how much the property was originally listed at, if there has been any price changes since it was first listed, what the revised price was, and when the change was made, all the way up to what the property is currently listed for now. The real benefit of this tool is that it allowed me to quickly scroll up and down the page, and whenever I saw a sea of blue, my attention was spiked because the blue indicates price changes. It was like having inside information. The majority of Rightmove users don't know about this feature. It allowed me to see how long the property had been on the market and at what price changes there had been. It allowed me to build up a picture of the property's owner's motivation. If the property had been on the market for a long period of time and the price had been reduced, and that signaled to me that the property is not shifting and the owner has instructed the agent to reduce the price in order to encourage more viewings and an ultimate sale. Or usually the other way around, the agent has advised the owner to reduce the price so that they can get more viewings and a sale, and so their commission. This feature also allowed me to sense check and compare the information that the estate agent had said to me. For example, I have had agents in the past say that the listing has just come on when in actual fact it came on Rightmove at least 3 months ago. The agent is working on behalf of the owner and so looking to get the best possible price. But if you can show that you already know how long the property has been on the market for and the price changes, you can ask the question, what is the owner realistically looking for, rather than the agent saying just make an offer. If a property is listed with a number of different agents, this also signaled to me that the owner is motivated, and also showed at which point another agent was appointed to market the property for sale. This helped me to identify if the owner had suddenly become disheartened with their current agent and appointed another agent to try and help sell the property. I always find it useful to call all the agents the property is listed with, even if it's multiple agents, and ask the following questions, which again allows me to build up a better picture of the property and its history. How long has the property been on the market? Have you seen the property? What's been the feedback from the people that have viewed the property? Have there been any offers? What's the owner looking for? Is the property owner occupied or owned by an investor? Are they in a chain or is the property chain free? Would the owner consider a cash offer? All this information helps me to build up a picture of the property and the owner, and it allows me to find the agent I think is more likely than not to help me secure the property. In the above example, there have been many instances where I've connected with someone on the phone and therefore our goals have become aligned. They want to sell the property, I want to buy the property. Now the only question that remains is at what price. Property Log has helped me drastically to reduce the time I've needed to do my due diligence, and this has allowed me to quickly filter out the properties that don't work. Setting up a Rightmove alert. This is another game changer and a time saver and something not many people set up. But I set up a Rightmove alert based on my area and property criteria so that every time something is added to Rightmove, I will automatically get an email showing that a property has been added matching my criteria. Rather than going onto Rightmove and entering the postcode and selecting the property criteria every day, I can sit back and just wait for the notifications to come through. When the notification used to come through and the property matched my criteria checklist, then I would call the agent to find out more about the property and the owner, and if everything looked good, I would book in a viewing. Finding a bridging and buy-to-let broker can make or break your property journey. I've been through my fair share of brokers, so I know what makes a good one. I want someone that is knowledgeable both on the bridging front, but also the buy-to-let refinance. And ideally, I want a broker that can arrange both. With a broker, everything is online. I complete the fact find so they can confirm that I will qualify for bridging and the buy-to-let lending. All I have to do is find the deal. Ideally, I'm looking for a broker that understands buy, refurbish, rent and refinance, is responsive and provides bridging quotes and buy-to-let quotes in a timely fashion, asks questions and is happy to follow up with lenders with any questions I might have. When converting one-bedroom apartments into two-bedroom apartments in central London, I always asked my buy-to-let broker if there was any reason I wouldn't be able to refinance the property. I would provide him with all the details and want, as far as possible, confirmation that there would be no issues in getting lending on it. I would always start with the end in mind. I always negotiate on bridging terms more so than buy-to-let terms. I make sure to get 3 bridging quotes to ensure I'm getting value for money. Having the right broker on board has saved me a massive amount of time and money. Having the right broker on board has helped me reduce the risk and worry of a refinance not going through as expected. Finding a solicitor. It's very important to find a solicitor that is responsive. I try to find a solicitor that is responsive on emails and someone I can deal with directly. I also want to find someone that has experience in exactly what I'm trying to do. I want someone that has experience in bridging finance and buy-to-let refinances. For example, my solicitor helped me through the following: lease extension, led me through a title split and refinance of a freehold house into 2 separate flats, each of which we refinanced onto buy-to-let mortgages even when we were told that this was not possible. Is currently helping me title split a mixed-use building into 4 apartments, whereby I'm moving the freehold into my personal name and creating 4 leaseholds in the company name so that I can refinance each of the apartments onto a buy-to-let mortgage. My solicitor has saved me so much time. All I need to do is review her final report on the property, all of which I can do online and in no time at all. Finding an estate agent. Once I identified the area I was looking in and set up the Rightmove alerts, I would then try and build up a good working relationship with the local estate agents. This you can't do online, but I would spend Saturdays viewing properties and build up relationships with local agents that way. These are the reasons I love working with estate agents and how they have saved me so much time. Estate agents know what an owner is likely to accept regardless of what the property is marketed for. Estate agents know how motivated the owner is and how quickly or not they are looking to sell. Estate agents know the new instructions they've received for which they might not have any photos, but they're happy to do viewings on the property. Estate agents know whether or not the owner would be more inclined to accept a lower offer if purchased using a bridging loan rather than a residential mortgage. Estate agents know what is happening in the local market now and in the near future, so things like schools, employees in the area, any planned regeneration, new parks or developments going up. Estate agents, they know all the property sales that have fallen through, not selling, had lots of viewings and no real offers, properties that are probate. All these are signs that the owner might be willing to accept a lower offer. Estate agents can provide you with recent sold comparables. Rightmove sold house prices are usually 6 months old and local agents can provide you with properties that have been sold recently which you can use in your due diligence. Finding a letting agent. Estate agents usually have a lettings agency, and you can use these to find your tenants and even manage your properties. Letting agents look after properties for landlords, and so they usually have a list of good contractors they use, which has helped me in my refurbishment projects. Letting agents can give up-to-date rental values based on properties they have let, and let me know the type of tenant type my property is likely to attract. Having a letting agent in place has helped me save so much time when it comes to doing my due diligence in relation to the tenant type, rental values in the area where I'm looking, as well as giving me the assurance that my property will be managed well by them, therefore allowing me to spend more time appraising more properties. Finding a builder. I will always ask the estate agent and letting agent for contractor details, but I will also use sites such as My Builder. A site like My Builder is a game changer. No more ringing around plumbers or electricians, painters or decorators that you have Googled. All I have to do is hit post a job, select the type of work I want to have done, such as painting and decorating, let them know where they'll be working, inside or outside the house, how many rooms need painting, add a description, give a job heading, enter the postcode for the job, enter my email address and hit post. My Builder will review my post and then publish it live so that tradespeople can quote for the works. Top tips. I always give as much details as possible using my schedule of work. I attach photos as well so that I can get a more accurate quote, as there are no surprises when the contractors subsequently turn up. And before you know it, I will receive messages from tradespeople looking at me to shortlist them for the job. Once I have 3 to 5 tradespeople contact me, I will make sure I shortlist based on the following factors. Location. I disregard any tradesperson that is further than say 30 miles away. I check their feedback and make sure it's good. I read the reviews left by previous owners. I'm usually looking for a lot of feedback and positive feedback. Unfortunately, I don't shortlist anyone who doesn't have any feedback, which sounds harsh, but I don't want to take the risk or waste my time or their time. There is even the option to take out an insurance policy with My Builder, so in the event that the job doesn't go to plan, isn't completed poorly, or fails to meet building regulations, or if the tradesperson goes out of business, the insurance policy will pay out. All these factors together will mean that I'm able to leverage a lot of professional skill sets and drastically reduce my time input. I found a property on Rightmove that I liked. Actually, it was on the same road to the first house I purchased. I viewed the property once. I agreed to buy the property, so I engaged my solicitor. I let my broker know, who organised the buy-to-let mortgage. Before exchange, I reviewed the valuation report and my solicitor's report to see there wasn't any issues or concerns, which there weren't. On completion this time, I contacted the agent I had met and asked if he had anyone that could help with the refurbishment. He said he did. I asked the same agent if he could help me find a tenant, and he did. From then on, I tried to outsource as many tasks as possible, but also I outsourced to people who were actually knowledgeable and experienced. I saved so much of my own time that I'm able to do this part-time. Literally everything can be done on the phone or online. The only time I need to leave the house is for a viewing. I wasn't always like that, but over the years I've learned how to be more efficient with my time and said to myself, I only do this part-time to force myself to behave that way. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments down below.